Yo, what up? It's Abe Lino, AB Positive, ALX Files, Abe Original Rant. I'm out here, Toad Island. If you know, you know. Mass wildlife, all that. Oh, I'm trying to be positive. Had 2 days off at least this week. Sometimes I only get one. Just some kind of backtrack through my day. I was just holding a sign. It was like it might rain, but I'm going outside anyway because there's a little water. If I get wet, I just ride back. But yeah, I was in Sharon holding my sign. Anyone who knows my sign in the city of Sharon, they might figure I might get some bad responses. And I did. But I also got a ton of good responses immediately right off the bat. You know, a good honk is like, yeah, something like that. Bad honk would be, Yeah, sometimes it can get a little confusing, but you can tell the difference. Or, that's a good one. Or, and then a finger. Or, hey, you're an idiot. What about the hostages? This guy Chris came up and talked to me. He said he protested in Attleboro. Seemed like a good dude. Said, hey, what's your sign? And they said, no more bombs. Stop the genocide. Hey, that's cool. One guy said something out the window like, yeah, that'd be nice. I said, yeah. Hey, France just declared their country, their state. And he said, yeah, but that's just going to mean now Netanyahu's going to cause problems. And I'm like, yeah, I'm afraid of that too. But yeah, anyway, I said I'm going to get out to the woods. So held the sign there for a bit. I thought about leaving the sign somewhere, but I had to make another one. But I said I'm going to bring it because so far it's brought me a lot of joy. And sometimes, you know, people flip you off. Like, I'm just like, thank you. I try to pretend. I learned back in the InfoWar days, like, sometimes you genuinely really are confused. I think that happened one time where a guy was, like, trying to flip me off, but I thought it was a thumbs up or something, you know. I had just got a lot of thumbs up, so I was like, thank you, yes, go team. And he's like, no, I'm trying to flip you off. Don't think it's encouragement. So, wow, look at out here. I mean, something backtracking to my day where I was supposed to see my therapist, but now I got that therapist canceled because I got angry at the session and said some stuff, you know, about how this society makes killers. And, you know, that made me uncomfortable, whatever. Lady wasn't right, God's will. I'm going to go to CCBC, but today I actually went there, and then I just wanted to call and get, like, on the wait list for a new person, you know? But then they had, hey, come in for an intake, blah, blah, blah. This lady, Abby, was pretty cool, but she basically, like, asked for my mom's number, and then she called my mom, and I already talked to my mom, so she said, pretty transparent, pretty open, you know? And, yeah, they eventually, like, let me go because I was like, look, I just wanted to call and get a thing scheduled. And the guy's like, hey, come in for an eval. And then, you know, I can talk a lot, so talking, filling out paper, whatever. But, you know, obviously I don't want to take medication, and everyone will say that's the way to go. You got to take medication. So I'm like, oh, would an Aboriginal man get Aboriginal help? And I just like to point out that in this world, like, information is not set in stone. Science is always changing, and information is sometimes funded by interest and profit motive. So, you know, trust your gut, you know, and don't be afraid to think outside of the rectangle. Think into the circle. Wow, is this one of those cameras? Ooh. Abe Lino, AB Positive. Yeah. AB, A to the B, L, I, and no. W for those who don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Were there any Sasquatches? Where's the Sasquatch? I seen a Sasquatch. I saw a Sasquatch, I swear. Nah, I didn't see one. I'm kidding. But I do believe. I like to believe in Sasquatch. Hey, which camera am I going to? What the heck's going on right now? All right, back to the vlog. Video, news, journalism with Abe Leno. Walking through this trail, I'm thinking, I'm easily distracted. So maybe I have some ADHD, right? But, you know, what's to, I was trying to explain transpersonal psychology. I'm no expert, but this lady did give me a little bit of props for being somewhat self-educated, etc. And, oh, man. I think things will get better, but obviously I always have these concepts of I wasted the day, I wasted my time off, wasted my good health, I wasted my 20s, I wasted my teens, and I really do want to get a girlfriend, but also, I don't want to go for the wrong one like I did with my ex. No offense, but, you know, I think she would take that, understand that, and she's still cool. Wish her the best, Captain the best. But, you know, I got my cats. I'll do all right. I feel like I was trying to explain, too, what I've created as the suicidal spectrum. And it's the 4 levels of not suicidal. Or I guess the 3 levels. Maybe we should make another one. But anyway, there's 3 levels. And the top level would be completely loving life. All right? And then below that, you have contentment. I'm content. Pretty good. Okay. Yeah, how you doing? Okay. Not bad. Content. And then under that, you have not suicidal / bad. You know, hey, how you doing? Hate my life. Do you want to die? Nah, just hate my life. And then, of course, the 4th and lowest level, or negative 4th, however you look at it. I guess that would be negative 3, because you would have 0 at that point. But the 4th level being suicidal, not wanting to live, completely wrong and selfish. I'm being sarcastic. I have a lot of satirical rants in me. But yeah, the lady actually wrote that down, wrote some stuff down. She was pretty cool. I feel like I'll probably, you know, give some trust to CCBC, but, you know, I don't want to take medication. I said, I'll take the sea moss. I'm going to get the sea moss. I'll take, like, fish oil. In a sense, that would be taking medication, you know? But, you know, back to what I was talking about earlier, I said something about, you know, all this Antifa stuff. I don't even think it's really relevant, right? Because I don't think there's fascism anymore. There's corporatism, because fascism, from what I heard, is when the government controls the corporations, but corporatism is when, you know, the corporations control the world. But and it's kind of what we live under in some ways, you know. But I like how Aaron Abke, he draws the parallel between, like, the pharma drug war machine, like, big money complex, and, like, the Pharisees of Jesus' time. And I don't know if I really believe in all that, but I, you know, believe in something, like, because he does say a lot of good stuff. A lot of people get all into Jesus so much. I don't know if he did definitely exist. In some ways, maybe he is a myth, like the Pharmacratic Inquisition and certain things talk about. But even if he is, or like people talk about Hermes Trismegistus and stuff like that, there's still good myths and good things. And, you know, I like what the Gnostics talk about and certain things where it's not all, it can be Christian, but it's not like Jesus died for our sins and whatever. I don't know, it's ironic how religions used to fuel war on both sides, you know, because all this hate and people getting pushed towards violence, like Muslim violence. That's not right either, you know. But not all Muslims are like that either, you know. I've seemed to meet some Muslims, and I don't know them, but I feel like the average person just wants to live their life, and you know, obviously they're going to support not wanting kids to get starved. That's what I was trying to say. People say, oh, what about George Soros? I'm like, first of all, I said, you know, Hamas is funded by Netanyahu, and I've heard that, you know, one country saved some receipt or whatever, but I also say he's killed the negotiators that are trying to, you know, work it out every time. And, you know, I've heard this stuff. Maybe I'm just, but even, you know, when I listen to the radio, it's like the mainstream radio, it seems like they're set on, you know, one guy on social media is like, oh, is it okay to kill babies or something? He's in Israel, you know, and it's, oh, well, they're hiding, Hamas is hiding behind their babies, so, well, so if you were hiding behind your babies, it'd be okay to kill you? And it was like a he-she, really. He's like, yeah, if I did something worthy, like wrong and I had to go, yeah. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. But, you know, I got the hat. I'm trying to just live my life. So I think, you know, in some ways, I should put the sign down because what I've heard in the news, people are recognizing Palestine, etc. So maybe there's a new cause and a more important cause because people are kind of screwed all over the world. And I was thinking, what about equal out the wealth? That's a good general sign. So equal out the wealth might be the new sign that I'm going to make. And maybe that won't offend people as much because it's like, hey, who's against that? Only the billionaire class, which won't be driving by me. I mean, maybe, but highly unlikely.